So how does a commander, on the eve of a massive invasion, come up with a battle plan so perfect that it seems to echo strategies from 2,500 years ago? Well, the answer lies in this really tense jungle briefing. A single moment that, believe it or not, unlocks the timeless secrets of creating absolutely unstoppable momentum.
So let's go back in time. It's the evening before the Sino-Vietnamese War. The air is just thick with tension. You've got a small group of soldiers huddled in the dense jungle right on the border. Their faces are grim, and they know that in just a few hours, everything, and I mean everything, is about to change.
You have to understand, this isn't just some standard military briefing. This is a moment of intense human drama. A company commander is about to lay out a plan that will literally decide who lives and who dies. The fate of every single person in that circle hangs on his next few words.
And get this, the person telling this story was actually there, right on the ground. He wasn't some high-ranking general, he was a young squad leader in charge of a flamethrower unit. He was sitting in that circle, listening to his commander, a man who, at that moment, held all of their lives in his hands.
As the commander started talking, what came out wasn't just a list of orders. It was this remarkably complete and, frankly, flawless plan. Which brings up the big question, right? How did he do it? Under that kind of crushing pressure, how do you create a plan with such incredible clarity and foresight?
What's amazing is just how thorough this plan was. I mean, it covered everything. The main mission, specific tasks, a crystal clear chain of command, all the way down to signals and discipline. The whole point was to get rid of any confusion. Every single soldier knew exactly what to do, who was in charge, and how to work together once the chaos of battle started.
And that right there, that's the central mystery of this whole story. This company commander, he was a practical soldier, not some classical scholar. He'd almost certainly never ever read Sun Tzu's Art of War. So how on earth did his modern, on-the-ground battle plan perfectly mirror these ancient principles? Was it just a wild coincidence, or was he tapping into something way deeper? These fundamental truths about conflict that any effective leader just figures out because they have to.
Well, it turns out the answer lies in 4 core concepts from Sun Tzu's chapter on momentum. And these aren't just, abstract philosophical ideas. They are the universal building blocks for creating coordinated action and overwhelming force, what Sun Tzu called shi, or momentum. And this table just lays it out perfectly. The commander's obsession with chain of command and roles, that's Sun Tzu's principle of Fen Shu, organization. The detailed plan for signals and communication, that's Xingming, signaling. The different attack routes, the main and supporting attacks, a perfect example of Qizhong, tactics. And the whole mission to hit the enemy where they're weakest, that is the absolute essence of Su Shi, applying strength against weakness.
I mean, Sun Tzu laid it all out 2,500 years ago. He basically said that to create real momentum, you have to master these 4 things. It's a system, you see, where each part builds on the last, turning a bunch of individuals into a single, unstoppable force. So, let's break this down, one secret at a time.
The first secret is Fen Shu, which is all about organization. It's about structure. Sun Tzu says managing a huge army is basically the same as managing a small squad, if you have the right framework. It's all about creating layers, defining who does what, and having a clear chain of command so everyone can act together without any confusion. Next up is Xingming, or signaling. So how do you command a massive force in the middle of a chaotic battle with units spread out all over the place? Simple, clear signals. Back in the day, this meant flags and drums. The drum means go, the gong means stop. The signals had to be dead simple and impossible to mistake, letting your commander direct thousands of soldiers like they were one single body. Okay, the third secret, Qi Zheng, is all about the clever use of tactics. Zheng is the orthodox. That's your conventional main frontal attack that keeps the enemy busy. But Qi is the unorthodox, the surprise attack, the flanking maneuver that catches them off guard. And victory, Sun Tzu tells us, doesn't come from just one or the other. It comes from the endless, creative combination of the two, which keeps your enemy totally off balance. And finally, we have Su Shi, strength versus weakness. This is where it all comes together. Once your force is organized, coordinated, and tactically flexible, you can concentrate all your strength, your Shi, and throw it directly at the enemy's biggest vulnerability, their Shu. The result is an impact so decisive, Sun Tzu described it as a grindstone smashing an egg. Just overwhelming. So, what's the big takeaway from all this?
Well, that commander's 9-point plan wasn't a fluke, and it definitely wasn't a coincidence. He was intuitively using these deep, fundamental truths about how to get people to work together effectively under pressure. And these principles, they're not just for ancient battlefields. They are absolutely timeless for a reason.
I mean, just think about it. It doesn't matter if it's a company of soldiers in 1979 or a super complex, modern military running integrated joint operations. Success still comes down to these 4 pillars: great organization, clear communication, flexible tactics, and hitting them where it hurts. The technology changes, for sure, but the core principles for creating momentum, they don't.
And that really leaves us with a final thought. These secrets aren't just for war. They're about creating effective action in any complex situation, in a business, on a sports team, or even in our own personal projects. So the real question is this: in the challenges you're facing right now, how can you better organize, signal, strategize, and apply your strength to create your own unstoppable momentum?